I so enjoyed making that intro. Found a drum beat After Effects template and put in the words that relate to today's comms, and it just worked out wonderful. I love it when I believe my Heavenly Father helped me with that one. So the president continues to amaze all of us with his energy, amaze us with his nonstop speeches, humor, and dealing with the media. We received more confirmations on the plan, how the deep state is suffering immensely around the earth, and the next moves he will make while visiting China. Each piece on the board, it's moving quickly and is becoming more exciting by the minute. He's also reposting a lot of the Q followers. Just want to make sure you guys know that. We're going to show you some of that today. We're at 510,000 followers on Rumble. Hit that like button and follow button if you would. Hitting that like button gets us up on the top of the leaderboard. We were next to Dan Bongino at number 2 the other day. We really appreciate that. Remember, we're celebrating 250 years with our new merch. We're going to show you folks wearing our gear later on in this video. We hope that you check that out. Now, you remember, this was the video that was playing for all to see from Dan Scavino, 57-second video sent at 1:24 a.m., a delta of 124 in the timestamp. That's 21:49 for good measure. I'm going to show you a lot of comms at the end of this video related to this that many people found. For now, I want to show you with that 57-second video, the pointing out of Senator McCain, that traitor, and he roundly criticized Michelle Bachmann in 2012 when she and 4 members of the House Permanent Select Committee Intelligence and the House Judiciary Committee cited Miss Abedin in letters sent to the Inspectors General of the Department of Defense, Department of State, Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, warning about the Muslim Brotherhood infiltration of the United States government. Why is this relevant? Well, folks, we're going to show you how China was trying to actually infiltrate. Muslim Brotherhood infiltrated. The Muslims have infiltrated, and the radical ones. And so who took on the undisclosed trip to Saudi Arabia? We know all this. And then, of course, the 1:24 a.m. post. You've got the triple plus, the 2 plus, the 1 plus. We showed you that the other day from all the way from the Justice Cometh as he explained each side of the triangle, the 3 pluses relevant to Saudi Arabia and how they were taken down, and also 4214, it's happening. Here's something for President Trump. He's wearing purple. It seems like several of the women got the memo. Wear purple.
Very bad people. Now I'm the hunter. It's much better when you're the hunter, but these are bad people, and they'll give you no support at all, no matter how good it is. I mean, as an example, I don't know what the numbers are, but if we go to Congress to get something approved, which we get, but you can say that we're going to reduce drug prices by 80%, and we won't get one Democrat vote. I don't know how they get away with it. That's why we call them the Democrats. We have a new name. They're Democrats because they're dumb. They're dumb people, and then they just can't do it. I've been waiting so long for them to change, but they just keep losing. And they're going to keep losing with their policies.
The Democrats, D-U-M-B-O-crats. You know, it's fun to watch the ladies behind him. And one seems to be squirming when he says this, and the other one seems to be giggling and laughing. I don't know. Maybe they're all having fun back there. Yeah, they're all having fun. They're all smiling. They love it when President Trump's talking. And anyway, wanted to show you this also. President Trump was talking about, the way the military operates, and he says this is how they do it. And we had somebody create a meme, Il Donado Trumpo. Of course, we believe that is Trump's burner account. Look at what he posted.
Ba, 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 ba. Okay, we have it in our sight. Fire, boom.
Oh, that was a great meme. You saw that in the intro also. Pretty cool. Well, those folks that have infiltrated are starting to get caught one at a time. If President Trump was not in office, folks, we'd never see this. They would continue to infiltrate our country. FBI Director Kash Patel caught her. Arcadia Mayor Eileen Wang in California is charged with acting as an illegal agent of the People's Republic of China in the United States. Mayor Wang admitted to acting as a foreign agent from at least 2020 through 2022, promoting the PRC propaganda in the United States and acting at PRC's direction to promote their interests. She has agreed to resign from office and plead guilty. Ran a website called U.S. News Center that posted articles and propaganda at the direct request of Chinese officials, which is a FARA violation. It always seems to be Democrats. I want to see the mainstream media talk about this. I just enjoy when they have to talk.
We begin with breaking news. The mayor of Arcadia has agreed to plead guilty to being a foreign agent spreading Chinese propaganda.
And for more on the charge against Eileen Wang, we're joined now by Kevin Ozebek.
Well, David and Giovanna, federal investigators say instead of acting in the best interest of the people who elected her, Arcadia Mayor Eileen Wang acted in the interest of the Chinese Communist Party. Mayor Wang, seen here in campaign videos she posted online, has accepted a plea deal that could see her spend up to 10 years behind bars. Federal prosecutors say the mayor and a then fiancé were posting Chinese Communist Party propaganda on a website called U.S. News Center. According to court documents unsealed today, Mayor Wang received and executed directives from PRC government officials to post pro-PRC content on this website and sometimes sought approval from PRC government officials to circulate other pro-PRC content.
Oh, boy. Caught, busted, going down. And folks, that's just a little tiny one. Little mayor. Wait till they start moving up the chain throughout California. Makes you wonder what's going to play out. The timing is just amazing that they happen to be going to China. That's right, President Trump. Elon Musk joins President Trump's high-powered delegation to China. Elon Musk will be part of a President Trump official U.S. delegation meeting with Xi Jinping this week. Elon Musk, Larry Culp, Dinah Powell from McCormick from Meta, Larry Fink from BlackRock, Steven Schwartzman from Blackstone. Let's see some other ones. Tim Cook from Apple. Wow. They used China to have their slave labor for those products at Apple. Interesting that he's going, huh? So, serious America First economic mission. President Trump is bringing the top business leaders to negotiate directly with China. It's almost like he's cutting off all the deep state connections and the central bank system throughout China, and finally removing those puppet strings and making deals with hopefully the right people to set the world straight. We will see, but look at what we have. Just a clip from Promethean Action that somebody put together.
While Carney and his friends are trying to regroup, President Trump and his partners are driving forward with a new strategic map of the world. Let's go back to Putin's remarks about his friends and partners and what's going on between the three superpowers. On May 9th, President Putin announced a pending significant oil and gas deal with China. Then, on May 14th, President Trump is traveling to China, and it's now being reported that Putin may travel to China very shortly thereafter. Now, the neocons will look at this from the old geopolitical playbook. They're going to say, Russia and China are ganging up against the United States.
Yep.
Well, that's not how Trump or Putin see it.
That's right.
Putin made that clear by describing his friends and partners. And here's how Donald Trump described his relationship to China in an interview yesterday.
My relationship is very good with President Xi. I don't know the other leaders, but President Xi is a good man, smart man, loves China. And I look forward to being there. We did this once before. And it was amazing. It's going to be I think it's going to be an amazing trip.
Now, also, I want you to take note of the context of Putin's remarks about his partners. They came in the context of Victory Day. Victory Day marks the 81st anniversary of the end of World War II. This is the last time the United States and Russia and China were allied with each other against fascism. And for Russia, this celebration is always massive and deeply emotional, because 26 million Russians died in that war. But in this 21st century, American presidents have ignored Victory Day until Donald Trump. Apparently, celebrating our shared alliance with Russia and China against fascism didn't fit into the post-war narrative established by Winston Churchill when he gave his Iron Curtain speech in 1946. But Donald Trump has broken with that post-war narrative. And he issued his first Victory Day proclamation in 2025. And then he did it again last week. And now he's heading to China to talk to Xi, work through trade differences, and deepen the relationship. It's no wonder that the Obama-Soros networks are scrambling for a reset of their own. Donald Trump is dismantling the geopolitical architecture of the post-war period that kept the United States in permanent conflict with Russia and China, and also kept the Mideast in perpetual turmoil.
Amazing. Thank you, Luke.Beasley568, for putting that video out. You know what's pretty cool is President Trump is now reposting Promethean action videos out there on Truth Social, and Julie Donuts, who posted that video also from them. So they're making waves and making a huge difference for the entire earth, waking us up. We've got a lot more to cover here in a moment on China, Obama, and many others. Hang in there. Friends, let me ask you something. How long have you been trying to get healthy without really knowing what's going on inside your body? You've seen doctors, you followed advice, you may have tried diets or supplements that sounded right, but nothing really changed because you were still guessing. That's why my family and I work with Dr. Kelly Shockley. She doesn't guess, she tests.
One of the biggest ones that I didn't even know I had needed a win, and that is that I have stopped a dependency on melatonin after 10 years use, and in order to sleep. A lot of good results, but to stop that 10-year addiction has been just life-changing.
Dr. Kelly stepped outside the traditional medical system so she could do what the system simply doesn't allow. Look deeper, ask better questions, and get real answers.
And with complete and proper testing, and then actually interpreting those results differently than what the rest of the medical world does, we can find the why behind your diagnosis or the symptoms you're experiencing now that you didn't used to.
Through advanced testing, she uncovers what's actually driving symptoms: toxins, nutrient deficiencies, inflammation, stress patterns, the things you simply can't see without data. When we went through testing, she identified issues I had never even mentioned, things I didn't know were connected. That's when I realized how much I was guessing. This isn't cookie cutter care. It's not trend chasing. It's stewardship. God designed your body to heal, but you have to know what it needs. Testing lights the way. Go to corehealthadvantage.com/awk, learn how testing works, and decide if it's time to finally get real answers. It's in the description box below, including a link to our latest interview. You'll love it. Click on that link today. So just amazing. Ripcord saw this with the moves that are going to be happening. What's at stake in Trump's trip to Japan, South Korea, and China. Also, China, U.S. to hold trade talks in South Korea next week. And Ripcord said, now think about the timing of POTUS traveling to China. I've said too much. God bless Patriots. All lining up, isn't it? Just all lining up. And everyone's pretty excited about how President Trump makes his moves.
I am being waited on by a large group of generals. And that's also important, you know, having to do with the absolutely lovely country of Iran. That's the way they pronounce it.
Iran. That's the way they pronounce it. I always say Iran. Anyway, you know, yesterday we had a Delta. The war is real. He fights for you. That's President Trump at the age of 20. And look at Obama at 18. It makes you wonder what was going on at the time, what they were involved in. And also President Trump posted on Truth Social that amazing picture of him actually being added to Mount Rushmore. That's pretty good.
It's a very simple plan. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they won't have a nuclear weapon. And they didn't want to go that far. If you can believe it, they didn't. How stupid. Are they stupid people? They didn't want to believe it. They think that, well, I'll get tired of this, or I'll get bored, or I'll have some pressure. But there's no pressure. There's no pressure at all. We're going to have a complete victory. We've already, in theory, had a complete victory from the military standpoint.
We're going to have a complete victory out of Iran. He wants everybody to know. While that's playing out, we've got the redistricting happening by the Democrats. So somebody put this together. Let's go gifts. A little cartoon for those looking at your screen. You're going to really love this. Wild coyote against the roadrunner, trying to set up a trap against, well, it's a picture of the Democrats. Takes the paint, paints a wall with redistricting to make it look like a road, and he hides. And the Republicans went right through the redistricting. He's like, how did he do that? So the Democrats back up and say, I want to do that. And they hit the wall, the coyote, and he goes down. And the Republicans run back over the Democrats after they stand up. Oh, if you guys aren't watching it, I encourage you to go to the video. If you're listening, you got to check it out. One of my favorites. Beep, beep. So while this is happening, AOC on the new Tennessee congressional map.
When you are seeing states like Tennessee want to wipe out every black representative on the map in these states, we have an obligation as Americans to stand with black Americans and communities whose representation is being disenfranchised.
States like Tennessee want to wipe out every black representative. The current Democrat rep is a white guy, and his Republican opponent is a black woman. When they say these people are stupid, they're dumb, they're stupid.
A leaked account of a call between Virginia House members and Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Here's a part of it. Quote, the most dramatic idea they discussed, which would involve an unusual gambit to replace the entire state Supreme Court with a goal of reinstating their gerrymandered map, drew mixed reactions on the call. Oh boy, that leaked? So they can't even all agree on this. The desperate move. 7 justices sit on Virginia Supreme Court with staggered terms stretching years into the future. Lowering the retirement age would force vacancies, opening the door to refill the bench. The headline for Fox News contributor Jonathan Turley's op-ed is this: Angry left plots to purge Virginia's high court. He was on Fox last hour.
These radical ideas are nothing new, but I think the public needs to understand that many of these same voices have been saying publicly that they will pack the Supreme Court as well.
Oh boy, Scott Jennings was all over this. He had something to say on the Communist News Network. Kind of helps us when we see how he operates, what he says to folks when they try to argue against him. It helps us when we talk to our neighbors if they want to have an argument. I don't know. We don't argue with them, but if we want to give them a straight answer, if they're willing to talk to us again, who knows?
There's a better chance of me sprouting wings and flying out of that window over there than the United States Supreme Court dealing with this in any way, because this is a state Supreme Court ruling on a state constitution. The U.S. Supreme Court doesn't deal with these kinds of things, number one. Number two, the freak out in Virginia has been so extreme. You even have Democrats over there who are saying they want to effectively politically decapitate the entire Virginia Supreme Court by putting an age limit of 54 so they can get rid of every existing justice and install people who will promise to rule a certain way on a certain case. They went from, this is just a temporary map thing, to let's burn down the entire Virginia Supreme Court in about 2 seconds over there in Virginia, which tells you all you need to know about just how power hungry and corrupt the Democrats are in Virginia. This is not going to work at the U.S. Supreme Court. And this whole project of maximum warfare by Hakeem Jeffries is completely blown up in their face.
I'm sorry, maximum warfare started by Donald Trump, who changed the rules in the middle of the game. We've got states right now that are canceling primaries that are already in play in order to try to fix the elections rules to help the Republican president because he asked them to. It's rich to hear that coming from you. It really is.
What is rich? that
Rich is when people, say something that
in Virginia, farcical. You had Democrats in Virginia who broke the law and broke the state constitution to try to move a 6-5 fairly constructed map to a 10-1 farce. They got struck down by Democrats on their own Supreme Court, and now they want to decapitate an entire branch of government over it. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Melissa Redpill reminded us about the winning. The Supreme Court invalidates Alabama's race-based House districts. 100% of Alabama's blue seats are racially drawn, and the Supreme Court 6-3 has just nullified a previous court ruling that required them. So now Alabama is set to use a new House map for the midterms. The new map is likely to be 6 Republican, 1 Democrat, but they should go for gold and make it 7 Republican, 0 Democrat. Boy, it just keeps getting better and better. Now, Representative Malcolm Kenyatta, the vice chair of the Democrats, Representative Pennsylvania's 181st District, said the new Jim Crow will be defeated like the old Jim Crow. When we were tired, but not defeated. We are tired now, but we will not be defeated. Oh, they're tired. Weeping may endure for a night, but the morning is coming. Yeah. How about that for what they've done to their city in Pennsylvania? If you're looking at your video, the Kensington area, the drug addicts that are there, the homeless in droves, and this man went out on Mother's Day and gave every woman a Mother's Day gift of some food and some flowers. That's the Bizzle Show that did this on Instagram, at the Bizzle Show.
Here you go, Mal. Got some stuff in there for you. Happy Mother's Day if you're a mother. No problem at all.
Bringing food, nutrition. Looks like homemade food, right? He made sandwiches for him and brought flowers.
If you are a mother, no problem at all. Be safe. Got a lot of stuff in there.
Never judge no matter the circumstances. We don't know what these folks have been through.
Here. Happy Mother's Day.
Keep your head up. He puts a note on there for some others. Just breaks your heart, folks.
Some stuff in there for you.
Matt Von Swole said, I generally don't think you know what Jim Crow means, Malcolm Kenyatta. Jim Crow meant that the state telling black citizens they couldn't vote. The Supreme Court ruled you can't draw districts based on race. Treating people equally under the law is not Jim Crow. It's literally the only cure for it. You know, we talked about this earlier. President Trump is reposting a lot on Truth Social, and he's bringing the patriots in, those that hold to the cue board and more. Irish Patriot, he reposted 300,000 children. But we know this is only the tip of the iceberg of how many women and children globally are suffering these same atrocities, the migration agenda for the earth. And listen up, Ireland, UK, Europe, Australia, Canada, and so many more. And of course, we had that repost of Julie Donuts, the fire video about Obama. These ladies are rock stars at Promethean Action, as they had. Obama had his worst week in years. His handpicked British puppet, Keir Starmer, got buried in the UK local elections. The Virginia Supreme Court tossed his rigged 10-1 gerrymander. And the Cali ruling killed race-based map rigging nationwide. He also reposted Cat Turds Arrest Obama the Traitor and Fan Trump Army. Boom, 20 CIA and FBI agents dropped a political nuke on Obama by confirming that Barack Obama and a former CIA director fabricated the Russia hoax, which was locked away in a CIA vault for nearly a decade to discredit President Trump's election by manipulating intelligence. We're going to get into a lot more from President Trump about the World Health Organization. We're going to show you some more great videos in support of Pratt there as mayor for Los Angeles. It's amazing what folks are showing us from the past about that reflection pool. It's not really reflecting anything but junk when Obama did it, when he tried to upgrade it, and more. Hope you guys check that out. Folks, I'm feeling so much better now that I've visited Chad and Katie Brewer, and they gave me their Fortify 365 NAD+, a coenzyme found in every cell of your body. I'm telling you, sharper, stronger, I'm more energized. It fuels my brain function. I can tell. It boosts the energy, supports metabolism, helps my cells repair and regenerate. And I was just overwhelmed when I took this stuff. As we age and we face stress and illness, or addiction, NAD drops those levels, leaving us tired and foggy. Well, glutathione is the body's master antioxidant. So it's combined NAD plus glutathione. It detoxifies the liver and as a result supports the immune system and reduces inflammation and oxidative stress. So together, NAD plus and glutathione are powerful anti-aging combo. You can actually get this in the description box below. Click on the link in the description box, 45365.com/AUK.
What do you think about the handling of the hantavirus by the U.S.?
I think fine.
Do you regret withdrawing from the WHO?
Do you regret withdrawing from the WHO because of the hantavirus? The few people that are faking it on that boat over there and so much more. I mean, how could you, President Trump, leave the World Health Organization when you've got an actor like this I'm about to show you? Liz Churchill, thank you for this post. Jake Rosmarin's TikTok on Hanta outbreak, featured by Jonas Schmidt Schnazit on DDF Hallo Deutschland, May 5th, 2026.
Gorgeous, gorgeous girls get vaccinated. Gorgeous vaccinated girls get boosted. And gorgeous boosted girls get boosted again if you're eligible.
Yeah, it's amazing that this guy who was crying and weeping on the ship and saying, oh no, this hantavirus is going to have a problem, was on some COVID stuff also as a crisis actor. And just so happened that a lot of people noticed on their social media that this guy was popping up in their algorithm all of a sudden about 2 weeks to a month ago. And they're like, man, who is this guy? He was like this travel center guy, travel content creator. So they're like, oh, this guy's pushing travel content. Ended up somehow on my feed on social media. And then it seems like all of a sudden he's on my feed saying there's a virus on this ship that I'm on for my traveling. It's almost like somebody worked the entire system out in social media to ensure that we knew who this guy was before he posted his fear-mongering so they can try to cause another plandemic for all to see. And then they send their media in, the agents for the Democrats, for the world elite satanic worshipers, and they go in and ask that question they've been waiting for a while. And President Trump's not having anything to do with it.
US.
I think fine.
Do you regret withdrawing from the WHO?
Do you regret withdrawing from the WHO?
No, I'm glad. So we were paying the World Health Organization $500 million a year. Look, it's a lot of money, but in the overall scope, it's not that much, but it's a lot of money. And we weren't being treated well. And they were making the wrong diagnoses. I was the one that said it came from Wuhan. They didn't say that. They refused to say that because they were totally owned by China. So I was saying it came from Wuhan. They didn't want to say that. Now it's turned out, I think it's been conclusive that it came from Wuhan. But I said that on the first day because I saw satellite pictures with body bags all over Wuhan. Literally all over Wuhan. So I said that they lied to me or they didn't know. So we were paying for, let's say, 350 million people. We were paying $500 million a year to the World Health Organization. That's a lot of money. What the hell are they going to do with that kind of money? And China was paying $39 million a year for 1.4 billion people. So I said, you know, you got your story wrong because we should be paying about $10 million, not $500 million. And they were willing to negotiate, but it was so popular when I pulled out. They gave us all wrong information. On COVID, they were totally wrong. And I looked today and I saw the same doctor that was there. He's a good politician. I don't know how the hell he kept his job, but he was there telling us about this. Now, the one thing with this one is that it's much harder to catch. And we've had it for it's been around for a long time. People are very familiar with it. So, you know, I hope it's fine. All I can do is everything that a president can do, which is actually somewhat limited. But it seems like it is not easy to spread. In fact, it's in certain ways very hard to spread. We've lived with it for years, many years, and we think we're in very good shape. We're very careful. And Nebraska has done a fantastic job. They have a place there that those doctors are unbelievable, the job they've done.
Is that enough? We're out of the WHO. They can no longer come in and try to tell us what to do. We are a sovereign nation. We've got our own people, and they're doing a great job. Uncovering so much corruption has been, I don't know, every day we learn something new. I didn't know about this. Check this out about California. The only state dependent on oil from Strait of Hormuz. Did you guys know that? Thanks to Gavin Newsom.
Going to California. California's leading in a couple things. They're going to lead in highest energy prices. They're going to lead in the highest taxes, and then they're going to lead in out-migration. Those are three things. And I'm not being sarcastic. That's just all true. And of course, the last thing I'll say is at the time of this recent conflict with Iran, California was the only state that was dependent on oil coming through the Strait of Hormuz. 60%, 2 out of 3 barrels of oil comes into California by ship. They've blocked every pipeline. They've blocked transmission lines. They've turned themselves proudly into an energy island. And then they're complaining, to this administration about their high energy prices. And even last year, they want to blame the current conflict. Last year, their lowest price in the year was higher than the highest prices in virtually every other state in America. I mean, this was a condition that they created for themselves long before the current conflict, but it's going to get worse for them going forward. And we're doing everything we can to try to help. We've tried to reestablish offshore. They're sitting on massive piles of oil. They were the Kuwait of the Jazz Age back in the 20s. They were one of the largest producers of oil in the world, and they've shut down that whole thing. We authorize offshore drilling on federal land. We got that going. They're trying to block the pipelines that are coming in, which would then help them. They used to have 40 refineries. They went down to 8. Now they've got 6. And so Texas, by comparison, has got 36 refineries going to 37.
How about that? California, the only state that was dependent on oil coming through the Strait of Hormuz, 60%. 2 out of 3 barrels come into California by ship. They blocked every pipeline. They blocked transmission lines, turned themselves proudly into an energy island. And they're complaining. In the heart of California, Los Angeles, they continue, Spencer Pratt, to cook Karen Bass. And rightly so.
Karen Basura wants to renovate the Griffith Park pool, and in typical Karen fashion, it's going to take 3 years. It costs $40 million. What are they tiling it with? Diamonds? $40 million in 3 years to build a pool? You remember the big reservoir in the Palisades that they drained and left us without water right before the Palisades fire? That was empty during the fire because they let the needed repairs drag on for a year. That was a $130,000 repair of a plastic tarp. It should have taken a week, but instead it took a year. Ended up costing double the cost, and now they have to replace it entirely just a year later. And they've drained the reservoir again. But they've got $40 million for a pool. Hey, if you're one of the contractors or you're one of my neighbors rebuilding, please tell me how much a 50-meter lap pool should actually cost. Put it in the comments. You know how much it costs to build the LA Coliseum? $950,000. That's just $18 million with today's inflation. And they built it in 16 months. We've hosted the Olympics there 3 times. $18 million and 16 months to build the Coliseum. But now it takes us $40 million and 3 years to build a damn pool. Is anyone else sick of this? Can we not do things anymore? They built the Coliseum in 16 months 100 years ago. What happened to us? Everything is late and over budget. God only knows how long it's going to take to rebuild 6,000 homes in the Palisades. We need a clean house in LA. Nobody in the private sector would waste 3 years and $40 million for a damn pool. We have so much corrupt bureaucracy in this city. Every project is just a scam to make Karen Basura's friends rich off your tax dollars while the quality of your life in LA gets worse and worse. If you're as sick of this waste and grift as I am, go to mayorpratt.com. Donate a few bucks to support my campaign for mayor. Unlike the grifters like Karen Basura and Nithya Raman, I will respect your hard-earned money. I won't waste your tax dollars, and I will get things done.
Anybody ever want to run for mayor? You ever wanted to just make some AI videos and start letting the world know how corrupt your city is? Man, he's the one that, and his team probably can take some great tips from him and how he runs it. This, other folks start getting around him, like this guy named Charles Curran, I hope I said his name right, Charlie B. Curran on X, I've got it on the bottom left of your screen. He's a filmmaker, and he put this video together almost like Star Wars. I'm going to show you that in a moment. First, I just want to remind you, we've got some amazing gear for you guys. We've got the women's 3/4 sleeve V-necks finally here. We have the Celebrate 250 Years, order now in time for Independence Day, and more at shop.amweknow.com or andweknow.com, either or, and you will be able to get your gear. Here's more great pictures of Patriots wearing our amazing Am We Know merch.
You didn't finish burning the city to the ground in your first term. Make sure you finish the job in your second.
The only thing that can stop us is someone telling the truth. As long as they don't have any hope, the city's ours.
Nobody's ever done this before. No one's ever spoken truth to power in LA.
If one man's brave enough to think things can change, everyone will realize things can change. You need to stop him.
There's Brett. Finally, he gets Bass. Bass Darth Vader.
Our children deserve to be safe.
What an amazing production. Way to go. LA is actually worth saving. Charles Curran making that happen. Wow. Powerful, powerful, powerful movie. See, folks, take your gifts, your talents, make it come to work. Keith Sorbo found this video clip from 2012, Obama spending $34 million tax dollars in 2012 to renovate the reflecting pool. Listen to what folks said.
And just cleaned and opened up a month ago. Looks like nothing was done. It's real nasty.
The pool was closed for almost 2 years and underwent a $34 million renovation project.
It'd be nice if it was clearer water so that one could reflect without seeing the algae.
Oh.
The first thought was, oh, that's kind of nasty.
Oh, it was a $34 million cost from Barack Hussein Obama. 2 years it took to do the whole thing. Gas prices were at $5.85 a gallon. Everybody's worshiping Obama, the savior of the world. I remember I've told you guys this, going to Germany. I got that job in the government service after getting out of the Marine Corps. And man, just about every single person from Germany thought that Obama was like the greatest leader on earth. And I spent so much time trying to convince folks that nobody knows who he is. He's a communist, Marxist, socialist, you name it. One of the most evil men on the earth. They would basically almost have a heart attack when I'd tell them this. His Afghan war, he continued into the 10th year. And of course, President Trump steps in $13 million for this renovation. It takes 2 weeks. Gas prices are at $4.50 a gallon, down a dollar and $1.35 from Obama. And the Iran war is in its 10th week. But guess which one the media cried about? It's Trump. Trump, he's the bad guy. He's the bad guy.
No, they've got serious Trump prevention syndrome, which actually is a disease. I'm hearing it is actually a disease. It's an honor. Today we're also enacting
Trump
groundbreaking
derangement
child-
syndrome. And the ladies were just laughing. So cool. So that Trump derangement syndrome, the White House said, you guys might need help. So they put out this RX. It looks like a doctor signed a treatment for the patient info, Trump derangement syndrome, the treatment. Trusting in Trump, listen to the national anthem, limit your fake news, and don't be a panicking. Oh, man. Oh, they're having too much fun. Too much fun over there at the White House. They're actually watching the deep state get pummeled. President Trump was there, of course, to talk about the cost of medication also.
Think of it. We're reducing drug prices by 500, 600%, or 80%, or 75%. Anyway, it's all about the phrasing of the question. And the media doesn't write about it. It's amazing. It's so sad. It's so biased. And that's why the media, their approval rating went down just today, 12%. You're at 12%. That's why I got elected with 97% bad stories. I won in a landslide because you have no credibility. So I wish the media would write about it. It's probably the biggest story. Certainly it's got to be maybe the biggest story in medicine, if you think. I mean, where you get drug reduction prices of 60, 70, 80%. A pill that costs $10 in Germany costs in New York City costs $130, $140. Now the pill is going to go to $20 in Germany and $20 for us. So we're going to have the lowest prices anywhere in the world. And we can't get a story about it.
Can't get a story about it, but hopefully we get a story about the DOJ weighing the new criminal case against Anthony Fauci, despite Biden's auto-pen pardon and statute of limitations running out. That's from the New York Post. Boy, that would be something else, wouldn't it? That would be something else. And so let's see. We had something else here for all of us to hear.
Well, they suffer from Trump derangement syndrome, to be honest. They don't even know what they're looking at. They can't even see straight. But I have a new way out. I'm going to propose something the opposite of what I want, and we will have massive amounts of legislation. No, just all I have to do is say, we will not build the wall. And they'll as an diabolical. No, I'm going to do it, Katie. We'll put it in.
I think you're
I'm going to go the opposite. Whatever is bad, I'm going to go for it, and they'll approve what's good, finally. No, they've got serious Trump derangement syndrome, which actually is a disease. I'm
The ladies are having so much fun and laughing. I saw this from Pathfinder here. She said, Oval Office energy, purple power activated, oval ovum for women. Trump in the center with the squad matching the frequency. 88 equals speed through the timelines. The memo was received, purple. Hunters become the hunted, in case you're not reading between the lines. Trump is the hunter. Trump equals 88 equals purple. Pretty cool. Thank you, Pathfinder, for those numbers and matching all of that for us. And looks like we had some other things that he was pointing out in case the deep state wants to continue to play games.
them in jail, or in many cases, sending them back to their lovely countries where they came from. And sometimes their country will say, we don't want them, we're not taking them. I'll say, that's okay. Slap about a 25% tariff on their country, and they call back. We would love to have them back immediately. In addition, the Department of...
Yep, he had that to say to a group of folks that he was honoring. I believe that was the firefighters. Was it? Yes. To the police. That's right. Trump to the police. I respect nobody more than I respect you. I'm going to show you that in a moment. But first, show you this. As I said at my State of the Union address on February 25th, President Trump said the American dream of home ownership is under attack. For example, Rachel Wiggins, a mom of two from Houston, placed bids on 20 homes and lost all those bids to gigantic investment firms that bypassed inspection, paid all cash, turned those houses into rentals, stealing away her American dream. She was devastated. Stories like this are why I signed an executive order to ban large Wall Street investment firms from buying up single-family homes. Also, in my speech, I called for Congress to save the American dream of home ownership and ban these purchases permanently. Senators Bernie Moreno and Tim Scott have worked to ensure my call becomes a reality and have a bill which has passed the Senate. With nearly 90 votes, I'm asking Congress to pass that bill, the 21st Century Road to Housing Act, which would ensure that homes are for people, not corporations. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Man, it's so great to see. Also, on the money side, just want to make sure you guys remember to watch our video that we dropped on Saturday. Our interview with Dr. Kirk Elliott. Warren Buffett warned us that the U.S. dollar could collapse. The market feels like the last months of the 1999 to 2000 bubble, and silver is up. And so I just want to make sure you guys notice this. And Chapter 11 bankruptcy filings have increased 42%. Here's a little clip from that interview.
Bankruptcies went up a couple of %, and it's like a meaningless number. Up 42%. So 644 commercial Chapter 11. I'm not talking about individuals filing for bankruptcy. We're talking about companies. 644 last month alone.
So he goes into this, what it means for us on the silver side and why it's great to get out of fiat currency with your IRA into precious metals. Hope you guys check it out. Give them a call and they'll pray with you. Also, there's nothing like it. Also, it's great to see young folks standing and smiling with President Trump. This is the Indiana football team, and this is Charlie giving his speech about President Trump.
How's it going, everybody? First of all, I just would like to thank Mr. President. Thank you so much for having us. This is an honor. I know I speak behalf of my team by saying we're going to remember this for the rest of our lives. And secondly, I would just like to thank all the Hoosier fans out there. You know, from the start of the season to the end of the season, y'all were there through the highs and the lows, and none of this is possible without y'all. So thank you guys, and go IU.
There's some happy young men standing around the President of the United States, future leaders. It's great to have him there, hopefully supporting President Trump. And, you know, he did a lot of stuff, man. He's just having meetings. He's talking about our prices. He's there with the football team. And then he heads out and has, gives a speech at a dinner there, right there in the White House, President Trump to the police.
We're gathered here to begin Police Week. Very important, my friends. I won about 98% of the police in this country, and we're trying to figure out who are the other 2%, because nobody can figure that one out. Figure that. And we pay tribute to the heroes who keep America safe, and they are heroes indeed. This week especially, our thoughts turn to the officers who gave their lives in the line of duty, to all of the incredible police officers, sheriffs, deputies, law enforcement officers, all law enforcement. We want to thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I respect nobody more than I respect you.
He continued while he was out there. Talk about he took actually a poll for 2028. Yeah, I did a poll on J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio with these guys.
For a lot of beauties out there, J.D., I envy you and other people. I don't know. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be J.D.? Is it going to be somebody else? I don't know. Does anybody have? Okay, let's go. You ready? Who likes J.D. Vance? Who likes Marco Rubio? All right. Sounds like a good ticket. J.D. That was a perfect ticket. By the way, I do believe that's a dream team, but these are minor details.
The real dream team. While President Trump was talking, we saw this, again, the drop to show you a former president, getting exposed
able to direct
about Obama, Promethean action. Here's just a few minutes of that.
The Democrat Party started the week with.
The White House shouldn't be able to direct the Attorney General to go around prosecuting whoever the president wants to prosecute. We can't overcome the politicization of the criminal justice system. The awesome power of the state. You can't have a situation in which whoever's in charge of the government to go after their political enemies or reward their friends, right?
When I saw this clip, I had to ask, what is he smoking? This is the guy who led the 2016 coup against the duly elected president, Donald Trump. Obama weaponized his Justice Department as the shock troops of the operation. Not only that, he kept that operation running for almost a decade. Now he's confessing he knows the Republic can't survive what he did. So why is he smiling? By the end of the week, that smile got wiped off his face, and I'm going to show you why. I'm Barbara Boyd, and I've documented this coup since it began in 2016. It was a British intelligence instigated coup. Today, I'm going to show you the 3 blows that wiped that smile off Barack Obama's face. First, how his hand-picked puppet, Keir Starmer, just got buried in a Labor Party bloodbath. Second, the Virginia Supreme Court bombshell that blew up Obama's most aggressive gerrymander in the country and reset the entire 2026 midterm map. And third, how J.D. Vance in Iowa and an outsider candidate in LA just exposed the one thing Obama's manufactured Democrats can never fake. But before we dig in, hit the like button and share this video. It increases our reach on YouTube. Let's start across the pond where the British Labour Party, the brain for the Democrats here, got shellacked in local elections, losing some 1,800 local races, control of the parliament in Wales, and further loss of control over the parliament in Scotland. Eluned Morgan, Wales's leader who lost her seat, said it was time for Labour to get back to being the party of the working class. Like Democrats here, Labour has totally abandoned that mission. Now, Obama had tried to turn Starmer into an actual personality, even taking credit for Starmer's 2024 victory. He counseled him and told him to be authentic. That mentorship produced what British commentator Jonathan Cook called the UK's first totally synthetic, laboratory-grown prime minister. Starmer continued London's disastrous green energy crusade, open border immigration policies, including protection of rape gangs, and permanent war against Russia in Ukraine, while raising taxes and cutting welfare. He jailed anti-immigrant protesters for their speech. But most of all, he kept scheming against Trump and Trump's destruction of the rotten globalist order that give people like him and Obama political power.
Amazing. Hope you guys go check that out. On Julie Donuts, she reposted that one, and President Trump posted that also for all to see. The traitor Obama continued getting exposed. So we had that drum solo in the beginning. I told you that we were going to show you really some other comms that came from that folks found. Great Awakening posted this, Heidi Cater. Drum solo equals Badam TSS. Punctuates the end of a bad joke or pun. The cabal played a bad joke on humanity. Jokes are over. They're not laughing. We're not laughing. Jokes on them, that Dan Scavino posts. Now, another one here from Sir Oliver Polak. He put this out, Kaiser. He goes pretty deep on this one. He says, remember President Trump's post from the other day, the one with the owl? He actually posted a video clip where an owl turns his head around. That's, Dan Scavino posted it. The one he dropped at 12:01 a.m., he posted it at that time. Okay, stay with me. Q drop 12:01 ends with Trump card coming. Then Q drop 12:01 military includes a 12:01 timestamp within the drop. And it mentions the U.S. military is conducting an operation while National Guard's activated. Keep in mind, the National Guard can be deployed overseas. This post was dropped at 1:24 a.m. Q drop 1:24. No context, just symbols. So you had the plus, the plus, and the plus. Remember the 3 sides of the triangle. You got Soros, the Rothschilds, and Saudi Arabia. This post includes no context, just beats. Q drop 1006 says, it has a drop that says war, no deals, and it ends with count your beats. And it has prepared all costs, and there's a whole rhythm there of beats, 188 of those exclamation points. Okay? But there are no beats in the drop. However, there's a bad military video linked from YouTube, and it does include 188. So what's drop 188, you ask? Well, I'm going to show you what was dropped on that YouTube. Watch this. Military channel. It's all connected with the drum beats, the rhythm that's playing. Count your beats. You've got the owl occult symbolism over DC. These folks thought that they could go against President Trump. They could commit a coup against him. Obama thought he could go over to Keir Starmer and work his ways over there. But his demonic activity is coming to an end. And the world is watching, and we can see it play out day after day. We have the backing of some amazing patriots placed into power at this time, and that's why we pray for them. And we know that a great military action is playing out for all to see across this earth. Man, that is powerful. Thank you, Sir Oliver Pollock, for great decoding there. You know, moving forward with Grasshopper 17, he has a lot of stuff that he shares, quite a bit, as a matter of fact. And this one right here struck me pretty hard when he posted President Trump with this Truth Social post. He's the only person I trust in D.C. right now. I'm a Trumplican. That was from Women for Trump, Standing with Trump 47. And this was reposted by President Trump. And so he posted at such a time to give us comms, I believe, to read this, to go around the mainstream media to ensure we know. The point to understand. They knowingly unmasked. Who? There's a lot of people that are unmasked, right? After the president won the election of 2016, they thought they could prevent the exposure of this information and remain protected. What do they believe that? Why did they believe this? What insurance did they have? Infiltration of the U.S. government. They were going to infiltrate the government, ensure that they prevented President Trump, right, from moving forward. There was a shadow presidency, Obama and the ilk that were behind him, the shadow government. It took this long for a reason, folks, to get this government, the shadow government, out. We don't say his name. Adios. And we're talking about No Name. McCain was one of the big ones, the big traitors. Who controls the National Guard? Can the National Guard work in coordination with the Marines? Do conditions need to be satisfied to authorize? What former president used the military to save the republic? And what occurred exactly? Study and prepare. And of course, this was placed out by President Trump in 1, 2, all the way to number 10. You can see he had several drops. We showed you that in the intro. He's the only person I trust in D.C. Build the ballroom. Thank God for Trump, the greatest of all time. And of course, him being placed on Mount Rushmore. Thank you, Grasshopper 17, for this post. Pretty amazing. And here's the forgotten story of President Trump.
This is the 1995 story the mainstream networks don't want on your feed today. It was the 50th anniversary of the end of World War II. The greatest generation was ready for one last march through the streets of New York City. But the city had failed them. The Veterans Day parade was broke. It was officially canceled. These heroes were told there was no money left for their honor. But then, a 49-year-old businessman stepped out of the shadows. He didn't just post a message. He wrote a personal check for $200,000 and didn't stop there. He called every wealthy friend he had and raised another $300,000 in just days. $500,000 just to ensure those heroes got their parade. This was 30 years ago, long before the campaigns, long before the politics. So ask yourself, why is this specific moment being erased from the history books today?
Good information. We don't worship this man. We just hope and pray that he is protected and that God is using him to wake this world up. And speaking of the Great Awakening, saw this from just an amazing Theo Von. Amazing thing that Theo Von did when he read Romans chapter 7. And I thought it would be important to see this. He's a younger guy. And this Great Awakening is waking up more folks to evil and everything they've been seeing. I believe he was, he's interviewed some big names. And so I wanted to play this for you as he struggles with this. Romans 7:15, for what am I doing? I do not understand. For what I will do, for what I will to do, that I do not practice, but what I hate, that I do. So we struggle this, right? There's things that we do, and we're like, man, why do I do that? I know that there's good things I can do, but I keep doing the bad ones, and I struggle. And Paul said, O wretched man that I am, who will deliver me from this body of death? I thank God through Jesus Christ our Lord. He thanked Christ. That was Paul's solution. Listen to this.
Never thought I would be saying some of this stuff, but I'm glad that I am, because I'm ready for a new story. I'm ready for a new story. And I'm ready for Yeah, and the scary part is who will I be if I let go of these things that I've always done and known, some of these behaviors, if I even can let go of some of them. And I know I'm not going to get anything right or whatever. And there's no it's just I don't know, man. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm kind of tired. What can I suggest, do you think, Trevin, or offer some thought? Do you have any thought about any of this?
I think it's really hard, and I think praying is a great first step if you don't know where to go or how to break a cycle.
Yeah, that's it. I just start that's something that's helped me is I just started praying, but I started praying like as honestly as I could, and even honest past that. Like, God, these behaviors I don't like of mine, will you help me? Even though I know that I might do them again, even though I know I want to do them again, will you come into the parts of me that want to do these behaviors again and help me there? Will you come all the way to will you come to the, past the roots?
Anybody can relate to that?
Think, Trevor?
Relate to what Theo Vaughn's saying? Annie Oakley said, my prayer for grace, 2 Corinthians 12, 8 through 9. Concerning this thing, I pleaded with the Lord 3 times, and it might depart from me. And he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, most gladly, I will rather boast in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Tired and weary, broken, downtrodden, and more. I've noticed over the years of life on this earth, at the lowest point of the weakest that have been, are the times that it seems like our Heavenly Father takes over and is able to use me. Chuck Colson put this out. He said, I know the resurrection is a fact, and Watergate proved it to me. How did it do that? Because 12 men testified they had seen Jesus raised from the dead. Then they proclaimed that truth for 40 years, never once denying it. Every one of them was beaten, tortured, and stoned, and put in prison. They would not have endured that if it weren't true. Well, Watergate embroiled 12 of the most powerful men in the world, and they couldn't keep alive for 3 weeks. You're telling me 12 apostles could keep alive for 40 years? Absolutely impossible. What a day. A lot of information poured out on this video, folks. I hope you were able to soak it all up. And remember, as we started with the drum beats there, just remember, we were reminded again, bring on the pain. It's happening.
For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, once again, we come before you in your throne, thanking you for how you continue to have your will done on this earth as it is in heaven. We thank you for answer to that prayer. Thank you for the many that are standing in the gap, using their gifts and their talents to help many that are trying to run in leadership roles, trying to do the best they can to make a difference on this earth while they're here. We lift up to you those that are on the front lines, those that are fighting for each person, those in the military wearing uniform, the leaders in power now making decisions. We hope they're being guided and directed by you. We ask for continued protection over even Pratt as he's exposing the evil, demonic cabal and what they've been up to for so many years and destroying a beautiful state and turning it into rot. We know you see this, you understand it, your creation, and more being pummeled. You hear the children's cries, and even more so, you hear the cries of your people. So we come before your throne once again, making these requests known to you. Guide and direct our lives, our nation, and more towards defeating this evil and helping us once again to stand up and be able to proclaim the name of Christ in such a way and a powerful way to watch lives change before our very eyes. We bring this before you in the name of Jesus Christ, our Savior. Amen and amen. Folks, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your prayers, your support, and more of this channel. We are so grateful for all of you. For now, this is LT Semper Fi with Them We Know, signing out.